Hello everybody, it is Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. Today is Saturday, July 14th, and today I am stitching a Start With Me video, which you won't be seeing until tomorrow, July 15th, because it is my Alice birthday salve that technically starts tomorrow. But this video needs to be recorded before I can upload it. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to record it tomorrow. I thought about going live, but I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. There are people going to be showing up tonight in about just over an hour, so I need to get this done and over with. I did some preparation work, so that's why I'm recording it so late, and hopefully this won't take too much longer and I can get it done before people show up. So I am going to move the camera now so that you can see my desk where I have everything set up. Okay, so today I am going to be starting Alice by Aury TM, and I'm going to be trying to do this Stitch With Me with the camera pointing the wrong way, so we'll see if I'm able to flip this around or not so you can see it properly. So this I am going to be doing on hand-dyed fabric that I dyed myself. That's pretty close to what it's going to be. It might be a bit darker than that in actual life. You might be seeing it brighter. And what I've done so far is I've taken some cardstock, thick cardstock. I get this from work because I work in a pharmacy. We use a lot of labels, and this is what comes in each sleeve of, I don't know, 500 labels or whatever it is, like a ream of labels. There's one of these sheets at the beginning and the end of that stack. So we get lots of these at work, so I'm fortunate that way. You can use any kind of cardstock. This is just the way that I'm going to be doing this project. And what I've done is I've taken my colors from the color key and I've cut my cardstock 4 inches wide, and I've punched a hole every 3/4 inch, and I've labeled it with the symbol on the chart and the called for color, and in the printing behind it, that's the color I'm going to be substituting it with. So if there's no other writing, then I'm going to go with the DMC color, or I might find another color later on to use. Some of them I screwed up. You know, I started writing something there and it's really supposed to be 951, so it's not perfect. And over here, dyslexia. It would have been fine because there's no other symbol like that, but the diagonal goes this way, not that way. So, a lot of the colors I think I still have on this tray here. These are the original colors, minus those knobs that were called for in the original pattern. Some of them might be extra, like that. I don't think that's in there, but I These are all flosses I need to bobbinate. And I started to use them, you know, and they're getting tags, not tags, ends of floss just wrapped around them. So I need to bobbinate these. And these are the colors that I have definitely swapped out for other colors. And those are all here. These are the DNCs that I'm going to use. If I've already bobbinated them, even better. But because I'm going to be using the card, all I have to do, like for this one, I will get my handy card here again that I got from work, and I'll actually just do it right now, because what the heck. This is what I've done for my beloved project as well. I find that it is so much easier to keep stitching when you can just pull a thread with the symbol right there. So I've been, if there's not too many colors, I've been going to this system. Drop that there. So just to keep the length consistent, and I'm doing this off camera so you can't really see it, but, and I'm making a huge mess. See? You know, it's always when the spotlight's on you that it makes things screw up. So now let's get untangled, get this finished. So just wound it around here. Slide it off. Cut the one side, and that was B5200, which is right there. And my hole puncher is not very big. But it works. So now whenever I see that circle, I just grab this strand and keep going. For the treasure braid, I will not put that on here. That I am going to use for the keys, which I didn't look up the symbol, but when I get to stitching the key, I will use that instead. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to go with Morning Glory or the Water Lilies Glacier. For the dress, which I think they'll both show up really well. I'm still leaning towards the Morning Glory because it's more of a light blue, baby blue, but this is bright, and I'm just looking at this, and it would kind of match that dress, except it's kind of got a little bit of a very slight greenish hue to it. I like the darker parts of it, but I'm not going to be starting with the dress. I have lots of time to decide that. On this project, I'm going to be starting in the middle, and that is going to work out to be this. It's right about there. It's right about there is the center, I think, or maybe it's over here. But it's not up there anyways, it's over here, and I'm going to start in the middle only because I am the most comfortable starting in the middle. In the past, I have started something at the top and gotten to the bottom and only had an inch of fabric left. I think in one case there's even like a ½ inch down here, and I'm not comfortable with that. And I've foregone gridding this one, but I still may go and add some grid lines. From some of them, like on Beloved, all I've done is I've done the outline, and then I've done the page break across the horizontal. And I did the center line, but that was it. On most other heids, I would grid the vertical lines because it helps you keep on track. And gridding takes a long time, so I don't want to do the horizontal. So I would just do the vertical, because the vertical is most of the time there are few verticals. For instance, this one is 194 across, so there would be 19 vertical lines, and 249 high, so there would be 25 horizontal lines. I know I'm just rambling. Maybe that makes sense to you, maybe it doesn't, but long story short, I'm not gridding. And later on there might become some grid lines, but it's not full coverage, it's a lot of motifs, so I don't think I'll need to grid this. The only thing I might be concerned about is my edges, but I double and triple calculated, and so as long as this fabric is true to what it's supposed to be, which I believe is 32 count opalescent, and I hand dyed it, so we'll see. So I'm going to mark my center so that I can get started. And all I did was I grabbed a piece of thread, which happened to be the green green number 4 treasure braid that was in my Ort jar from my Silver Dragonfly by Nora Corbett, which I just finished. So, to find the center, just fold it in half this way, and then again this way. And just add that piece of thread in there. And there it is. Now I'm going to put this in a hoop. And I usually don't use a hoop because I don't like the ring marks, but I don't have, I'm almost done one of my projects that are using a scroll frame, so I am going to, I have a larger scroll frame set, but this will fit fine on the other one that's in use, so I'm going to not put it on the scroll frame, the larger scroll frame. I'll just use the hoop for now, and in about, well, I won't say for sure, but about 2 or 3 weeks, fingers crossed, okay, got interrupted there, so I don't know what I was talking about. Anyways, I grab my hoop. I hope I don't knock everything over, because I did not grab it before this. And this is actually a quilting hoop. And before I do this, I will remove all the thread. So we don't need to knock it on the floor. This is my list of my conversion. And some of the things, like the 3853, is a orange, and I haven't decided which orange I'm going to use for a substitute, but there's not much orange on the pattern. I believe it's just for the Tweedle's hair, so I don't think it's going to make a big difference which pumpkin pie or wood rose I choose, but we'll see when I get there. So I'm just going to loosen this up. Trying to do this so it all stays in frame, so you can see how I do this. It's pretty tight as it is, but I do pull on the fabric a little bit, which I know stretches it out. Okay, I'm just checking my lighting. I might have to move the camera a little bit because I want to hold it here. Anyways, we'll see how this goes. I have my working copy. The one thing I noticed about the pattern is that the center was not marked. There was not even an arrow at the top or the bottom to show where the center line would be, horizontal or vertical. So I found that myself, marked it on the chart, and now I'm ready to go. But because I don't have my cards fully loaded, I will have to find $sign tribes. No, I didn't want to do the $sign. I wanted to do the dash. Moss. This is how I had them on the other card there. Moss. And I think all the ends are clipped. Nope. Get my needle minder. From Tenkai Designs, Mad Hatter Tea Party, because that's appropriate. And because these are over dyed, I have to pull from the same set of 6, if that makes sense. Which would be why I did have a set on the side. So I just, this time and well, the rest of the time, I just pull off the 6 strands, grab the 2 I want, and put this back on here. I know some people would also have another hole on the other side for the floss that's in use, which I might do, and I might not. And let's see if I can stitch like this. Need to find a spot to put my chart without it being in the way. Visible. Can't see it there. And I need a highlighter. This one works. Okay. So the center is not quite where there's any stitches. And I'm going to use an away waist knot. And I'm going to come down 7. have to take off my glasses because I only need them for distance. And I need to go over too, but it's so close that that'll be fine. And you can't see any of that. Just realized that now. Let me just put my needle back in here. And we'll move the camera a little bit. I'm just going to change the angle just a little bit. Let's see if that works. See, I'm watching what I'm doing and not the computer, which is over to the right. So I can't tell what you can see till I glanced over and realized you're not seeing any stitching. And now you know how I start a project. I normally don't do that with the over dyed. I don't usually take all of the floss off, but that's all that I have of the moss. And hopefully it's enough. Because won't that suck if it's not? It's just the outline for that motif. Well, actually it has other, the table inside the motif is also that color, but I can use a different color for the table. Because we're allowed to do that, you know. So, I don't know how long this video is. But to kill some time, I will tell you what we did yesterday. I'm on vacation, and most of my vacation, it's really a staycation. Just not going anywhere. We went to the wedding in Winnipeg. Well, it wasn't in Winnipeg, but went to the wedding. That ate up a bit of our funds, so we're not going anywhere. So we've been trying to do, well, my husband's very, very sweet, and he's been, you know, fixing up the house, and I'm like, well, what can I do? And he's like, relax, you're on vacation. So a lot of time is spent with me just sitting in the shade stitching, which is why I was able to get Dragonfly, Silver Dragonfly done. And I wanted to get that done because I wanted to knock off a whip out of my pile of whips before I started another. So, and it happened to work out good. I got up yesterday morning and I added the beads on the left wing, and then we went to the beach. And my husband was kind of moaning and groaning about going to the beach. Not that he didn't want to go to the beach, but he doesn't like swimming, doesn't like getting in the water, doesn't want to get shorts, and I won't say I harassed him or bugged him or nagged him or anything, but I was like, you know, you can get some shorts and go swimming. I didn't nag him. I just want to say I did not nag him. So anyways, we went to the store to grab a bag of ice, and he wandered over to the shorts and he did grab a pair. And so we grabbed the ice, he bought some shorts, and we went to the beach, and we left the dogs behind because they're not high maintenance, but I wanted to relax. And when you take dogs, you have to play with the dogs, you have to have the dogs on leashes, and which means you can't really go very far in the water. So I told my husband, no, we're leaving the dogs at home. And so we did, and we went out to the beach, which is the one that we always went to as children. And it used to be packed when we were kids, but now it's because of its location that not very many people go out there anymore. So when we got there, there was actually nobody on the beach at all. And so we got our pick of spots. And so we grabbed one, and about, I don't know, 20 minutes after us, I don't even think it was that long, like it was right after we got there that somebody else pulled up. And I think we got a dirty look because we were there. And so anyways, we set up our chairs, and I had also brought kites, which we had bought pretty much when we first moved into this house. And there's a field right next to our house where I used to take the kids a couple of times. We went out into the field and we flew these kites. Well, they've been under the bed in a garbage bag, just gathering dust. So I pulled them out and put them in the car, and actually we even bought a frisbee while we were at the store getting ice. And my husband changed into the shorts, and I flew a kite for a little while, and he kind of wandered around a little bit. He sat in his chair. Now he has a bungee chair, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a big hoop, and it has bungee cords going around it, and it makes a seat, and he loves it. He thinks it's comfortable. I don't think it's very comfortable. So I have just one of those folding camp chairs for myself. And so he sat down in his bungee chair, and within 5 minutes he jumped back up, which, you know, was quite easy because it's a bungee chair. And he had got stung by a hornet. And it's a good thing he's not allergic to bee stings or anything like that, but this is the probably the second time in about 2 weeks that he's been stung by a hornet. And it's just the oddest thing. And I think it's because where we parked, he must have had a nest nearby. That's all I can think of. Sorry, I'm just looking at my pattern and I see a big chunk. So anyways, he got stung, you know, and he's wandering around trying to find the hornet so he can kill it. And when he got stung last time, the stinger was stuck in this wound. Sting. And so it was quite painful for quite a while. And this time, we don't know for sure, but after a while, he came in the water and we tossed the frisbee around a bit and went and sat down and had a pop, and we were, you know, reminiscing about how we're not the same people we were, because we would not have been drinking pop way back when we went to the beach, but now we're responsible adults and stuff. So, but he noticed that the sting didn't hurt anymore, and so we're not sure if it has to do with the water, you know, the cold water helping somehow. And it wasn't cold, I mean, it's lake water. It's a spring-fed lake that we were in. And or if it was, you know, because the other one had that stinger, was still stuck inside the wound, which I know was very unusual for a hornet, but it was definitely a hornet that stung him the last time, because it was, you know, the nest was right there. We were moving a deck and it was angry, and yeah, it was definitely a hornet. So yeah, because when that one stung him, it was about 3 days later he came upstairs, and because this thing was getting swollen and looked like it was infected, and he came upstairs and I don't know if he grabbed some tweezers, but he pulled out a stinger. I'm looking at the computer again, and I'm wondering, because of the sunlight now, if you can see it very well. Anyways, I know you guys are stitching. You're not actually watching this, so I'll just keep going. And yeah, so he's like, well, the next time he gets stung, he is going to either soak it in really cold water or go for a swim. But for my husband to go for a swim, like I said, very slim chance of that. But he has admitted to me that I was right. He would like it. He's glad that he did. And I said we need to do that more. And you know what? I'm paying myself for that. That was exercise, so I would say that counts. We were there for about 3 hours. Might have even been a bit longer. And we did put our sunblock on, but there were a few patches that got missed, and he forgot to, you know, put it on his face, and I didn't put any on my face either, but we get home, and of course that's when, you know, later on the sunburn starts to show up. And he's like, but you didn't get red. I said, well, that's because my face cream has SPF built into it. Ah, smart, right? So we are going to be having a birthday party tonight, and it also is our wedding anniversary. It will be 25 years tomorrow that we have been married, our silver anniversary. And it just occurred to me after I put my dragonfly on a hanger and hung it up on the door, on the closet door there, because I need to get the iron out and iron it. I need to pick a frame and frame it. Actually, I need to get those beads, which somebody has contacted me and has offered to send me some Swarovski they're not palettes or rondelles, they are bicones, hex cut bicones, emerald, that she had a lot of. Probably, I'm thinking for a chatelaine or something, you know, that she had bought them for, and she had a lot of extras. So I only need 3. So she's going to send those to me, which I really, really appreciate. And then I can frame the dragonfly, which is silver dragonfly, which was appropriately finished at our silver anniversary. So what? Oh, what is that word? Quinky dink, anyways, right? And that was not planned at all, because that I just wanted to get out of the way. It was a quick stitch, you know, having seen what other things I stitch. And that was the one that I started for my New Year due start. So I started it January 1st and finished it July 13th. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a raven outside being rather vocal. Just gonna highlight. It was right at the edge of the page when I came over to this chunk here, so I was stitching from both pages, one on either side. So I'm going to tie this off. I probably shouldn't have opened the curtains because of that bright light. I don't think that the waist knot has been caught enough, which I knew that was going to happen because it was off at an angle. I've never done this with braid before, so we'll see if it works, but this is pretty much what a star detailer does. There. Well, there it is. There's the start to Alice by Aury TM. What you are seeing is, let me find that page, is the top edge of that. Right there. There's still another row that goes along the top, but I didn't think my thread was long enough, so that's why I ended it. And I think I'm going to end the video here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be longer than I originally anticipated. I'm going to finish threading up my cards as much as I can, and I don't know if I'll get any more stitching in today, but I do have another week off of work, and I think I will make this my Out in the Shade project. I'm still working on the stockings. It is now time for me to change out my rotation, so I did get a lot of progress done on that one. That would be the Sugar Plum Violet stocking. So I'm going to change that out for the Christmas Eve Fun stocking. And that's my evening projects while I'm sitting there watching TV. And I will show you my progress hopefully next week. I will try to do another video. I will try to do it on Friday so that it's uploaded on Saturday, so that gives you more time to view it for those people who work Monday to Friday, right? Because it'll be up on Saturday, hopefully. And, well, I am gonna say bye now. I'm going to try to get caught up on Flosstube because, man, I'm still so far behind. But I am getting a lot of stitching on Beloved done while I watch it. So anyways, I'm rambling now. So I am going to see you later. I don't know. I see now it's, you know, having trouble staying in focus. So hopefully this video was not a mess. Bye. It doesn't want to stop. It probably knows that I didn't say thank you for watching, subscribing, and liking, and all that stuff. You can follow me on Instagram at Tina Stitches, and if you are stitching an Alice pattern, please post your progress and use the hashtag Tina's Birthday Sal, which I will try to remember to put a little comment on the bottom here so you can see it better. And now I'm going to see if this actually stops. Bye.